Hey Gavin, this is Scott Peachy, and hopefully you're getting this video a few days ahead of us chatting on Monday. And during these unprecedented times, I figure I should probably use some of the things that I have readily available to me. So one of the things that I do outside of work is I actually make YouTube content. I am a quote unquote YouTuber, I suppose you could say. So I have a camera and lighting and, as you see, a microphone and things like that. I do a live YouTube show about consumer tech and technology and data on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I thought, well, you know what? Might as well use this equipment as much as I can, since I'm not going to get a chance to meet you in person, and send you over something like this so we could chat a little bit and so you could see kind of what I'm like. As you see, I'm pretty free flowing, easygoing type guy. And then kind of drive the conversation that we have. Looking forward to our Monday conversation, but I wanted to talk about maybe some of the vision that I had from a data governance perspective at Wendy's, and kind of step through some of the things that I've learned at Nationwide that maybe, I don't want to say pitfalls, or some opportunities that I've seen going forward and how that might actually help Wendy's International. Now, I could sit here and tell you why data governance is important, but you already know this. If Wendy's didn't feel that data governance was important, we wouldn't actually be having this conversation, because there would be no role available. But it's about what kind of data governance organization do we want to create? We need to treat the members' data as it's our own, because a lot of time it is our own. And I know that Wendy's is really big about when you walk in the door, you're part of the family as well. Same conversation that we're having at Nationwide. The members' data is our data, and we need to protect it as such. When I started at Nationwide, we only had a team of about 4 or 5, so it wasn't something that was very, very large. Before that, it was a team of 1 or 2, and we kind of evolved and went from there. But as these increasing internal pressures, things like my data's wrong, I need to make sure that I can make quick, accurate business decisions on the data, and I don't have time to waste in doing things like validating that the data is correct, or I have 2 reports sitting in front of me and both are wrong. What am I going to do there? So they have those type of internal pressures, and things like CCPA and Sherrod Brown's new law, which is probably one of the most aggressive data privacy laws that we have out there, as well as things like GDPR. I know Wendy's is going international for a reason, and they have been for a long time, but going back over into the UK, you're going to have things like GDPR becomes something that's important, because you have that PI information that's out there. So data governance is really important, both internally and externally. So what are we prepared to do about that? So I really looked at data governance as really the enterprise-wide adoption to make sure that data is usable, available, accurate, timely, has the right integrity, has all those nice buzzwords. But what does that really mean in a functional sense? It means our governance structure, we have to function as a second line of defense. But in some instances, especially like it was at Nationwide, we had to build our first line of defenses first. So we use a services-oriented model. And this is a model that, our team has instantiated over the past 4 years. I've been leading this particular team for a little over 2.5 in the director role. So one of the big things that we pushed immediately when I took the role was we have to go out and teach them to fish. Because a lot of the times our first line of defense was like, yes, I know data governance is important and I want to do data governance. I have absolutely no idea how to do that. I don't know what it means. I don't know what the ROI is. I go to my senior leaders and I'm supposed to say, we're supposed to do data governance. They look at me and go, cool, that's great. What does it mean? That's great. You have to go out there and explain, this is what data governance is. This is why it's important. So our data governance team wanted to make sure that we could establish a sustainable first line of defense model by teaching them the things that we're going to do in terms of quality assurance and data governance at a second line of defense model. And now that's been wildly successful. We won the 2019 Data Governance Information Quality, the DGIQ Conference Best Practices Award winner, through the model of service-oriented approach, teaching them about the service offerings that we have, going out into each individual line of business, building things around data quality, taxonomy, data lineage, metadata, information lifecycle management, those traditional things to really make the data rich and informative. Everybody has data. That's table stakes at this point. We need to take that data that we have and inject it with the metadata and the richness there to make it informational to really drive those business decisions. We have to crawl before we walk, and we have to walk before we run. And this has been a long tail at Nationwide, and it's been very methodical in nature on purpose. The idea is, let's establish a stewardship council. Let's understand which business units really are more of the consumers of data or the contributors of data. The contributors are definitely going to be the ones that drive the data into our repositories, where our consumers of that data can consume it and make those business decisions. Well, let's just fix it on the front end as they're contributing that data into our repositories, and then go from there. Those are the things that we need to really concentrate on from the very beginning. Help those lines of business establish a fundamental good first line. That way, when we're doing the quality assurance assessments as a second line of defense, a governance program, we have the ability to know they're doing it exactly in line with what we have as expectations as a second line of defense. That helps them establish what the policy is, establish any standards that go along to support that policy. Exactly what are they trying to do in their business units, but we need to make sure that we're giving them a prescriptive guidance and then helping them get to that point. That's been wildly successful, really proven a lot of ROI. We're saving thousands of hours in a lot of our business units by teaching people how to do the data quality the way that the governance committee and the governance structure really desires the data to do. We're teaching them these things exactly how we would assess them as a second line. So they're acing with flying colors in terms of what a quality assurance assessment is, simply by following the prescriptive guidance from the data governance organization. There's a lot of other things that we could cover, and I could go on and on for a 20, 30, 45-minute video. But rather than me do that, I figured I would just get something out to you so we could kind of stoke that conversation that we have on Monday. And yeah, if you want to, please feel free to go out and take a look at this channel. You're probably getting a private YouTube link that you can go out and see. Feel free to share it with anybody internal that you would like as well. And if you have any questions, shameless plug, subscribe to my channel. So I will see you on Monday.